The thing to know about children's oral health disease and issues, it is actually the most common chronic childhood disease. And people don't realize that, and some people don't realize that it's considered a disease. It's actually 5 times more common than asthma, which we hear an awful lot about. For anybody who suffers from hay fever, it's 7 times more common than hay fever. So that puts it a bit in perspective when we're talking about overall children's oral health. Now I'm going to break this up into the stages. And again, we're going to get to why it is that I think it's such a good partnership in working with Oral-B, because clearly they've got a lot of the tools of the trade, I like to say, to address these. And then I'm also going to have Lauren get the chance to talk about some of the specific products that Oral-B has that fit with what we all are trying to get people to understand about good prevention and good children's oral health. But let's first talk about some of the challenges at each of these different stages. So stage 1, and we're talking about under the age of 2 for stage 1. One of the things we find is that people don't think about teeth much until they come in. Even when the teeth do come in, those kids typically don't get dental exams. My goal is really helping to convey the message that it's at the site of the first tooth, but no later than the 1 year.
But is that the recommendation of the American Academy of Pediatrics?
That is the recommendation, and it was so important. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to let Lauren, if you want to just go over some of the products that are available in that stage 1 age range, you'll see why it's such a good fit for trying to get kids to have those routines before they're 2.
What we recommend is that before teeth erupt, take a wet washcloth, wipe those gums down, clean them really well. Once the first tooth erupts, you really should use a toothbrush. This is our Oral-B Stage 1 toothbrush, and as you can see, I mean, it has a really wide brush head, and that's to cover large surface areas at a time. Those bristles, they're baby soft. And then also you may notice that the handle is actually made for an adult hand. So this is really comfortable for you yourself to hold it and get in there and maneuver.
I actually can't think of something safer, like designed to put in a baby's mouth that feels good, or the rubbing of the gums and things. And it fits in not only with the oral hygiene, but also makes babies like it. I mean, they want to put things in their mouths. And you can't start healthy habits too soon in my book. Age 2 to 4 years old. So I don't know about you, but that age range makes me think of independence. But then you also carry that over into nutrition. You have an impact of poor nutrition on the teeth, but you also have an impact on what kids are able to eat and drink when they have enough issues with their teeth that they have pain. Then also language. Language is such an important part of everything else that they're going to do. But very seldom do people make that crossover from those sorts of things that we focus on for those reasons, and why that relates to children's oral health. There are a few things more difficult than prying open a 2-year-old's mouth. How can you make this activity fun is one of the messages I've really hit home over the years talking to parents, and that's where you want to get the oral hygiene habits in there. So then if you want to grab, Lauren, the stage 2 products.
This is our Oral-B Stage 2 toothbrush, and the reason why this is made specifically for kids this age, it has a really narrow brush head. Again, the same baby soft bristles. And additionally, this handle is designed for kids that are learning to brush themselves.
Ages 5 to 7 is stage 3. Interestingly, one of the statistics that always catches my attention, 51 million school hours a year are lost to kids and their oral health issues. That's huge when we're talking about the issues of learning. By the end of this range is when you're hoping to get your kids where they actually can get their teeth reasonably clean. You may get a little check every now and then to make sure, but don't just back off, and then use the appropriate supplies or tool, like I say, tools of the trade, so that they're more likely to be able to do a good job.
For kids in this age, you want to use a toothbrush that accounts for their permanent teeth that they're growing in, their permanent molars may be growing in, and also during this age group, some of the kids may have lost teeth. So you want something, again, that's really soft, that can take into account tender areas where there may be really tender gum tissue. So the Oral-B Stage 3 brush has a cup-shaped brush head. Again, that's to surround each tooth and clean it thoroughly. Then it has this power tip back here, which helps to reach behind those back teeth.
Now, do you still say flossing once a day is necessary?
Flossing is actually thought anytime, once the teeth are touching, is a very important thing to do. And then the 4th stage is the 8-year-olds and above. Again, add everything we've just said, and then add to it social issues as well. Think about the impact it can have on a child's development if they are embarrassed about their teeth, about plaque. Those sorts of things all of a sudden start to have much bigger implications on the social development as well, and we don't want to forget those things because that really is a crucial stage of their development.
Oral-B Stage 4 is for that child that has a mixture of permanent and baby teeth, so it's got kind of interesting mixture of different bristles.
Part of the reason I even like the different stages is it makes it more likely to be fun. We're doing this together. That actually is, for me, a very important feature in promotion of children's oral health, not just the medical side of it, but making it so that people can actually do it when they get home.
I'm really relieved that my son's only 8 months old. Now I think I'll be able to start off early and start off well.
I feel like I learned a lot about my own dental hygiene and about my children's, so it's great. I got a lot of information I never knew before.
It's events like these that kind of remind you how important oral hygiene, can be.